My name's Kevin Desmond. I'm the general manager of King County Metro Transit. Welcome to the Eastgate Park and Ride and this really exciting event that I've been looking forward to for an awful long time. The deployment of our first 3 battery-powered e-buses. With me today to mark the occasion is our King County executive, Dow Constantine, council member Vendana Slatter from the city of Bellevue, Mercer Island Sustainability and Communications Manager Ross Freeman, and Vlad Gutman, State Director of Climate Solutions, and Matt Horton, Senior Vice President of Proterra Sales and Marketing. Proterra is the manufacturer of this bus. And now it's my pleasure to turn this over to Executive Dow Constantine.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Good morning, and a big thank you for joining me today for this celebration. We, as a regional government, are committed to taking advantage of the latest technology to make operations more efficient, to reduce our fuel costs, and to decrease carbon emissions. By using our purchasing power to invest in clean energy sources, we can help our region transition away from fossil fuels that contribute to climate change and toward a zero-emission future. At Metro Transit, we already have one of the greenest fleets in the nation. Today, we build on our progress by launching our first all-electric battery-powered buses right here in Bellevue. In a few minutes, thank you, Bellevue. In a few minutes, the Route 241 will pull in to this park and ride and switch, as it does every day, to become the Route 226, heading back to Bellevue Transit Center. But its next trip will start a new era. A new era for our transit agency, the first ever powered by an all-electric battery. Today we move closer to the goal of dumping the pump and running a completely green fleet. And my goal is for us to be all electric and hybrid in 3 years. Battery bus technology has the potential to be a permanent part of our transit fleet. And riders on the east side will have the first opportunity to try it out. These battery buses can travel up to 23 miles between charges. Each charge takes just 10 minutes. And they're expected to get the equivalent of 15 miles per gallon more than even our very efficient hybrid coaches. Now, we've heard great things about the performance, but over the next year, we'll be testing these buses to better understand how well they work on our own streets. This real-world experience will give us the information we need to make fleet decisions based on the latest available technology. I would particularly like to thank the Federal Transit Administration for a $4.7 million grant to help fund these buses. And I want you to know that we're competing now for another federal grant that will enable us to buy 6 more battery buses and a second charging station. With me today are Eastside leaders who share my concern about climate change. I want to join with them to drive forward more action to combat that climate change. They will speak in a moment, but first, we want to watch as a new battery-powered bus pulls up and gets charged before it makes its inaugural trip to the Bellevue Transit Center.
Thank you, Executive Constantine, and that is an exciting moment for us, and to finally get this bus into service. So as Dow said, the charging process usually takes 10 minutes or less. This bus was recently charged, so we could for this event and send it on its way. So it didn't go through the full 10-minute charging process. So it's going to proceed out and head into service as a Route 226. And there is the last 241, which normally would change its destination sign to the 226. And it's just going to roll off into the past, I guess, as a diesel bus. Wherever diesel buses go these days. So the second and third of the electric buses, the battery buses, will be put in service tomorrow. So this one, coach number 4602, will be the first today, and then all three will be operating starting tomorrow. So with that, I'd like to turn the mic over to Councilmember Vendana Slatter from the city of Bellevue. Thank you.
Good morning, and welcome to Bellevue. I don't know if you saw on the side of the 241, it had the line, "Love the planet, get on board." And I think that's pretty poignant and really relevant for today. Thank you, Kevin, for the introduction. And thank you for choosing the Eastgate Park and Ride here in Bellevue as a launch site for King County Metro's clean, green, battery-operated buses. It's a pleasure to have you here, Dow. This is an excellent choice to be in Bellevue because we believe we have a shared commitment to the same goals. Metro is in the people-moving business. Bellevue is the economic hub of the East Side, and we have a lot of people to move. Metro is testing brand new prototype buses. Bellevue prides itself on fostering an innovative environment. Metro is committed, as you've heard, to reducing greenhouse gases, which is a goal that Bellevue shares as a member of the King County Cities Climate Collaboration. And also, transportation emissions represent 47% of Bellevue's greenhouse gases. The commitments here focus on near-term and practical solutions, but reflect obviously a bigger goal to protect our planet and to support ideas and our commitment for future generations. So the all-electric buses that we're celebrating here today qualify on all those counts. And here in Bellevue, we're proud to say that we've been working on alternative technology solutions too. For example, in recent years, we've installed 22 public charging stations throughout the city, and private businesses have installed many more. And that's important for all the reasons I mentioned before, because of our gas emissions as well. Electric vehicles are definitely part of the answer to reducing transportation emissions, and good mass transit is another very important strategy for the East Side. And the fact that these two strategies are coming together today in one project here in Bellevue is truly exciting. Well done, King County Metro, thank you. Bellevue is on board with all electric battery buses. Thank you.
One of our other strong partners here in this region that's worked closely with us over the years to advance clean energy policies is Climate Solutions. I'd like to ask State Director Vlad Gutman to share a few words with you just now.
Climate Solutions, we're focused on what we like to talk about, which is facilitating a profitable transition to a clean economy. We firmly believe that moving away from a dirty economy that relies on fossil fuels to a clean one that is powered by the wind and by sunshine will create jobs, save the public real money, and improve quality of life. And we're delighted that King County puts so much effort into proving us right time and time again. King County has a long record of leading the way on electrifying public transit. In the mid-2000s, the agency began the process of converting its largely diesel fleet to a hybrid electric one that reduced fuel usage by about a third and saves the county millions of dollars every year. And moving to electric buses is the next step. Each one of these buses will save Metro as much as $500,000 in fuel costs over their lifetime, more than paying for the upfront investment it takes to bring them on the road. They will run quietly and comfortably, improving public transit experience for passengers as well as people walking on the street. Anyone who lives and works in parts of town with regular public transit knows how valuable access to good bus routes is, but they also know that your average diesel bus is loud and unpleasant to be next to. As more of these buses hit the road, it will transform even the experience of walking around in our city. And of course, there's a massive air quality benefit as well. Over the last several years, we've seen extreme weather and drought, and even the Olympic rainforest burned for several weeks last year. Buses and mass transit cut down on the number of cars in the street, and Metro's hybrid buses do even more, reducing emissions for every mile they travel compared to their diesel predecessors. But even the cleanest diesel buses still dump about 4.5 pounds of carbon dioxide per mile into our atmosphere, and they release pollutants that contribute to asthma and lung disease. And these electric buses are a vision of something better. King County Metro is committed to giving people options to get around outside of their individual cars, and as they move people to take mass transit, they've shown a consistent willingness to make that as clean as possible as well. They're rolling out 40-foot buses. They weigh 27,000 pounds. They drive cleaner than the Toyota Prius, and that's really incredible. Our planet will certainly benefit, but we'll feel the benefits closer to home as well, as vulnerable communities that live next to major roadways breathe cleaner air from cleaner, quieter buses. In 2004, Metro began to transition to an all-hybrid fleet, a goal that they will hopefully achieve in the next few years. And that's why we hope that this new transition to 100% electric buses is the next step, and it happens just as fast. Thank you so much for your leadership. This is really exciting. Thanks.
Thank you, Vlad. Finally, I'd like to say how proud I am of our staff, our fleet engineering staff. Raise your hands, guys, who've been working on this project for a while, as we've been trying to put together our e-bus program. They're some of the brightest at keeping abreast of emerging technologies, obtaining federal grants to offset costs, and ensuring that the new buses will meet our high-quality service standards. As has been mentioned before, we like to think that we're leaders in green fleet. Executive Constantine mentioned that with the hybrid program that we started early last decade, moving on to replacing all of our old generation electric trolley buses in Seattle. Almost 160 of the new trolleys will be fully in service by next year. They're about 30% more energy efficient. And as Dow said, we hope that by 2018, our entire fleet is either electric buses or the diesel hybrid. I'd also like to thank Proterra. They've been an excellent partner with us so far on this project. They're the manufacturer of these buses, for their help in bringing the buses to Seattle. And my own sense is battery-powered buses are here to stay now. They've been thought of as a demonstration project throughout North America, various different agencies, buying a few here and there. I think they're here to stay, and I think this is a very good piece of equipment. We look forward to seeing how they're going to work for us in our environment over the next several months, during which time we'll have a chance to further analyze the performance of the buses and how they're going to work in our operating environment and where we could put the charging stations. So thank you again for being here this morning. Feel free to celebrate the occasion, and I think we've got a ride on one of the buses set up for the media if you'd like, or anyone else. And of course, if you have any questions, we're prepared to answer any questions. Thank you.